tough film to make. Even the first couple of months, the situation on the ground was rapidly changing. Welcome back. My name is Tom Kaliko. I'm the director of Midnight Monument, and welcome to the Traverse Cinema Studio channel. We're going behind the scenes into the making of Midnight Monument, our first feature-length film. In this episode, we partner up with Lighthawk and take flight over a grand staircase Escalante to capture parts of the monument so remote, the only way to photograph them is from the air. It's early June and the air is still surprisingly cold. It just snowed a couple of days ago. Make the long trek down all the way from Boulder, Colorado down to southern Utah, up and over and through the Dixie National Forest. And one thing that's really cool is like this road that you're on just opens up and you just see this expanse that is Grand Staircase. You see these petrified dunes and this very distinct, almost Martian looking landscape. This monument is huge. It's almost 2 million acres in size. And when Trump reduced it, we wanted to photograph some of the areas, show to an audience, hey, like, why would you remove protections on these? So we're actually at the Escalante Municipal Airport. And this is like a tiny little like rural landing strip. We're supposed to meet up at 8 a.m. to get in the plane to take flight. We're not quite sure where the pilot is.
Hey Christine, it's Tom from Traverse. As long as you think no news is good news, I'm cool with that too. I just wanted to check in and make sure.
That morning he had taken off out of Phoenix to come up, and apparently it was only like a couple hour flight to get to where we were in Escalante.
So cool. Got a text from Christine. Still haven't heard from the pilot yet this morning.
It's super quiet. And you just hear this like little Cessna just flying over the Kaparowitz Plateau and just dives into the airport. We loaded up. We took a bunch of different cameras with us. We rigged the plane probably with 2 or 3 different GoPros. Chris had his little GH5S on a gimbal. I'm in the backseat of the plane with some cinema glass with an FS7. I also have a couple different stills cameras with me. We're all kind of crammed into the back of the Cessna. We flew up and over the Kaparowitz Plateau, and even from the air, this place is huge. 2 million acres is a lot of land to cover. We went further west of Escalante and started there first, and then we flew to the south over the Wall Weep, which is just this Martian-looking landscape. From there, we flew out to Lake Powell, which really isn't around Grand Staircase, but just thought it'd be a great place to film. Then we went back up into the middle part, the Straight Cliffs part of the monument, and filmed all the different slot canyons from the air, which was just insanely crazy, spotting all these new slot canyons I don't even think are on the map. You know, we always, as filmmakers, want to go lower and slower, and come to find out that's actually pretty sketchy for most pilots to do. It's pretty high risk. And turbulence were super bad for most of that day. We're just bouncing around in the plane, cameras flying up and making sure, like, you know, we're not losing any of our camera equipment out of the window. And we're just we're just shooting nonstop. The images, the landscapes that we're seeing are just mind-blowing. This has been probably the best experience in filmmaking for this particular project, and we just want to come away with like terabytes full of images. So Will was our pilot. He was the one that Lighthawk partnered us up with, and just a really cool guy. Huge thank you for him for doing this and wanting to do this with us. I think we spent like 5 hours with him in the plane, just circling the monument for that entire time. The whole point of this was, if we can capture the raw beauty of this landscape and make audiences feel the sense of scale and beauty, we would hope by watching this film that they too would feel the same way that we do and want to see this landscape protected for generations to come. In the next episode of going behind the scenes in the making of Midnight Monument, we're going to be working with the monument's paleontologist, Alan Titus. Join us as the crew and I go back to southern Utah to work on putting this scene together.